This is more of a spur of the moment kind of video, which is why it's uploading outside of the usual soft schedule that I have these days. Call it a Thanksgiving special if you want, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving this weekend. But it's also the Louisville Regional this weekend, and while Sneasler has been having kind of a moment, especially since Dortmund, who's to say what Louisville will bring? So let's strike while the iron is hot with this Sneasler idea that's been kicking around in the back of my mind for the last little while. And actually, what really motivated me to make this video was yesterday, Adi on CK49 channel uploaded one where he talked for about 4 minutes about whether Sneasler is broken or unhealthy, those hot takes that are flying around about this Pokemon, and argued that basically it benefited from favorable metagame trends and it'll be fine in the longer term. I definitely appreciated his perspective. I think these unusual Pokemon are sometimes kind of overblown by the player base. And in general, I appreciate that he takes such a data-driven approach to VGC, which is something I try to learn from, as sometimes I tend to treat VGC as more art than science. But yeah, it was interesting to hear his thoughts. I think I agree. But that said, I want to see what I can do to break Sneasler in this video. This is an idea. If you watched my Limitless tournament stream a couple nights ago, this is something I talked about there. It had been a video idea for a little bit, and I think if I'm going to make it at all, I should probably do it now while Sneasler is having this moment. So, we got a pretty typical Sneasler here. Focus Sash, Dire Claw, Close Combat, Throat Chop, Protect, Terra Dark. I just didn't feel like I needed Fake Out on this one. The goal is probably going to be to click Dire Claw as often as possible. And the reason is, you see this looks like a pretty ordinary team here with it, but the goal, ideally, certainly the main mode that I have in mind here, is to lead Typhlosion, Primarina for the Fire Pledge, Water Pledge combo. They have fairly standard sets, or at least sets common to what I've been using otherwise. The Typhlosion does have the Terra Fairy, because I wanted a defensive Terra type to make sure that I can spam this in a lead slot and opponents, I don't know, sucker punches or something can't stop it. So I looked for a Dark Resist specifically in the Terra type. And then I thought I might as well throw on Terra Blast if I have it in the late game against a Hydreigon or something. But yeah, Fire Pledge, Water Pledge is the goal. That will set up the Rainbow effect, which will act like a Serene Grace for all of my Pokemon for a few turns, doubling secondary effects, which I think should mean that Sneasler gets Dire Claw status every turn. Like I talked about in the stream, I thought about trying this with Dudunsparce, and then I looked it up on Bulbapedia, and Bulbapedia told me that the Rainbow does stack with Serene Grace, but not for flinches. So we can't get Dudunsparce to 100% flinch with this, which is fair enough, but I think we can get Dire Claw to 100% status if I've understood everything correctly. And then I just wanted strong partners in the back to help Sneasler clean up and take advantage of any status that it spreads. So Dragapult is here, common Sneasler partner. I've kind of chickened out for now of a Choice Band set. Maybe Choice Band is actually the way to go, but I'm hesitating because I think Dragapult could easily get into a late game situation where it needs to KO like 3 Pokemon, and the locking in effect of a Choice Band might be very counterproductive to that. But if Life Orb set is underwhelming me, then maybe I'll try Choice Band before the video is over. Last 2 Pokemon, or the 2 I haven't clicked on yet, I was doing something I don't usually do, which is, I think generally, if the matchup allows for it, like I said, I want to bring Typhlosion, Primarina, and then Sneasler, Dragapult in the back. So I was thinking about how to ward off opposing modes that I don't want to have to deal with that mode. So Hydreigon and Rillaboom are both, to an extent, here to try to influence what Pokemon the opponent brings to a game. But then Hydreigon also should help me cover for some Sun stuff and some Trick Room stuff. Often on the same teams. I have the Terra Ghost because we saw how useful it can be in a past video, that it walls, or not Blood Moon Ursaluna, but it walls the other Ursaluna. And with the Assault Vest, maybe we can take on Blood Moon. And then the Rillaboom, of course, completes the Fire, Water, Grass core and gives me a little bit of priority on this team and some grass coverage into any threats for which that's appropriate. So that's the team. We're going to try to set up the Rainbow and just spam Dire Claw and see where that gets us. That's the basic idea. As our first opponent here has... hang on, I'm just going to start the timer for this and all battles in this video. Okay, our first opponent here has a Rain Team with also Porygon 2, Sinistcha, Trick Room stuff, and they have screens, so this could be a good test of whether Dire Claw really breaks this matchup or not. They do have a possible Tailwind on the Pelipper, which is, you know, it's a little unfortunate that I didn't fit Tailwind onto my team. I had a Whimsicott penciled in for a while, but I felt like I needed power on my Pokemon in the back, and there just wasn't really a mode that I could see where I'm bringing like Typhlosion, Primarina, Sneasler, Whimsicott. That's then putting too much work onto Whimsicott. I needed something strong instead, like offensively strong. Not saying Whimsicott's a bad Pokemon. In any case, yeah, I think this is a fine game to go right for our Rainbow mode. Of course, our Chaldon is immune to Dire Claw, unless it terrestrializes, but it might do that to get around to close combat. I'm just thinking about whether to bring Hydreigon into this, but no, I think we just do the Dragapult mode that I said was the one I was trying to go for. Let's just do that. We got Typhlosion, Primarina leading against Grimmsnarl and Malamar. Interesting. Okay. Mental Herb, Covert Cloak. I was just assuming at preview that it screens Grimmsnarl, so I expected to see Light Clay. And of course, Grimmsnarl is a dark type, can't be Prankster taunted, though it can't be taunted otherwise, you know, without priority. I don't think a Sucker Punch is coming out, so I'm not going to worry about the Terra Fairy. I'm actually going to double target the Malamar, because I don't know what they're planning with that, and that makes me a little more afraid of it. Oh, they fake Tears into their own Malamar to boost its special defense. That's really cool. It still takes a lot from the Pledge combo. And actually, I don't necessarily mind if I lose Typhlosion here. I'll just go for the... No, I'll go for Fire Pledge again, because I'm locked in. I'll go for Moonblast into Malamar this time. I'm not in a rush to get Sneasler in, although I don't have a lot of turns of Rainbow. So I kind of hope they KO one of my Pokemon soon. Their lead might be too passive for that, though. And the way they're taking their time, I wonder whether they're thinking about switching the Malamar out. They actually Parting Shot into Malamar to boost its stats. That's a really funny combo. And that's why it's not Screens Grimmsnarl on this team, I understand now. They also nerfed my Fire Pledge. Don't quite KO Typhlosion. I don't know why I almost said Ninetales. Look at Trick-Room up here too. So yeah, okay, I guess I just needed to switch Sneasler in and just like Moonblast the Malamar or something. I think that would have been fine. But hey, live and learn. Surely they take the KO on Typhlosion here though, right? But Sneasler's only gonna get one turn of Rainbow, so that's an issue with this mode that I have to figure out. We do KO Pelipper though, so hey, one turn of Rainbow might be all I need. I could put an eject button on Primarina. There are ways for an opponent to shut that down then. And, you know, it does open up possibilities. Like Typhlosion, Scarf Typhlosion is going to be very fast, but a priority attack into Primarina could be an issue. Just going to Dire Claw Porygon 2 and Moonblast Grimmsnarl here. Here facing the Sneasler is fine. Yeah, we get the Poison on Porygon 2. No more Rainbow, though. We did take advantage of it this game, but only that one turn. And okay, they KO Primarina, but I get Dragapult here. I'll just Dire Claw Grimmsnarl for the KO, and because Sneasler has its speed dropped, I'll protect Dragapult around a possible attack from the Grimmsnarl. Also could. It probably doesn't have Sucker Punch on this set, but it's not impossible. Okay, they went for Parting Shot, so they maybe don't know about the Clear Body. The Protect still is helpful in the Porygon 2, and here I'll just rip a Close Combat into Porygon 2. I don't need any more Dire Claw shenanigans, and actually they forfeit anyway. Alright, so didn't quite accomplish everything I wanted there, but got to show it a little bit. This is a good mid-speed team to perhaps try this on. Although the Breloom could have Poison Heal. I don't know if they're actually running that. The Volcarona could burn Sneasler with Flame Body. The King Gambit's immune to Dire Claw. There are some issues, but it's still close to the kind of matchup I was hoping to get here. So we'll lead Typhlosion Primarina. Oh, I didn't think about the eject button on Primarina. I don't know. And we'll bring Sneasler in the back for sure. And I think we probably bring Dragapult again. Well, yeah, I mean, Hydreigon probably loses to their Dragapult, right? And Sneasler helps me cover for King Gambit. I do have max speed on Dragapult and Sneasler for these mirrors. Do I have max speed on Dragapult? I think I do. Yeah. Alright, we'll bring Dragapult. You know, we don't necessarily want to get into a speed tie with the opposing Dragapult, but if it does happen, that's still a 50% chance to come out ahead. They're really taking their time here, which is fine. They have every right. I do sometimes, but I wonder what they're thinking about is all. If I see Dragapult in the lead, do I have to rip the Terra Fairy Typhlosion? I don't know, but in any case, we don't see it. This Pledge combo will be a water-type attack, but I mean, they got 2 water resists on the field. In any case, I think it's worth it to break Breloom's Sash. So let's do that. As that water-type combo actually knocks it down to Sash. They Spore Primarina. They'll KO Typhlosion here. That means I get Sneasler in. I don't really want to let Sneasler go to sleep, but I would love to get a Dire Claw into Gyarados. Maybe it's best to just protect Sneasler and burn Primarina's first sleep turn. Or if Primarina gets KO'd, we can live with that too. Might as well click Hyper Voice, because, well, it's a mandatory sleep turn, but also anything will KO Breloom at this point. I had a chance to Dire Claw Gyarados there. That's unfortunate. We'll go for it here. And click Hyper Voice again. Should be guaranteed status into Gyarados, unless Kingambit switches in. They actually switch Breloom out for Volcarona, so that's good. We do get the Para into Gyarados. Primarina stays asleep. Sneasler's knocked down to its Sash, and I think this being the funny Dire Claw team with 1 turn of Rainbow left, I'm just going to go for a Dire Claw into Volcarona and see what status I can get onto that, and I'll click Hyper Voice again. If they switch, they can switch Breloom in and sack it if they want, or they can switch Kingambit in and not get status. But ideally, we get a status onto Volcarona, because that would be funny. There it is. No status. Okay, so I guess it's not guaranteed with the Rainbow. Well, or is it Covert Cloak Volcarona? Do people run that? In any case, Sneasler survived the turn somehow. Oh, it was a full Para on Gyarados. So I can Dire Claw. Oh no, they have Tailwind up. In that case, it might be worth it to preserve Sneasler, actually. I'll Protect. And Hyper Voice. I can at least get some damage onto Sylveon. And then think about winning with Dragapult in the back. I mean, I can stall out their Tailwind. Okay, good. If Primarina had gone down there, that might have been game losing. I can stall out their Tailwind because I have Protect on Dragapult. The question is, do I sack Dragapult here? I think the answer to that is no. I don't think 1 HP Sneasler and 7% Primarina pull this one back. So I'm just gonna try to double protect Sneasler, honestly. And protect Primarina this turn. Okay, double protect fails, but Dragapult can protect on the last turn of Tailwind. But I am kind of dependent on Dragapult at that point to win the game. Which I guess means I'll have to Phantom Force into Sylveon first. And then hope that Dragapult can take whatever comes after that. Oh, no. I did have the Terra Fairy still, but I don't have an attack into Sylveon other than Phantom Force, which does KO here. Do I take a Terra Blast? I don't have to, because Gyarados is fully paralyzed thanks to that Dire Claw. And Dragon Dart should win it here. Sneasler putting in work even beyond the beyond the grave. As Dragapult cleans that one up nicely. Do people run Covert Cloak on Volcarona, or am I just wrong about the Rainbow? Maybe I'll check Munch stats after this. Okay, we got a Rain team, I guess, but with no Basque Legion or Chaladon. It's just Goldango Rain. And there's an Amoonguss too, I suppose. And then Mouse Ape. I mean, we'll just do our thing. I've brought the same 4 Pokemon to every game so far, but that kind of is what I was hoping for. They're the ones I wanted to use. Okay. The Pelipper has a Covert Cloak. Let's break Sneasler's Sash. If we can. Actually, will it fake out Primarina here? I feel like I just have to hope that it doesn't. Maybe I should put a Covert Cloak on Primarina. That's actually not a bad idea, I think, for this team. But they don't fake out here. There goes the Sash. They just Dire Claw Primarina, which KOs. And Hurricane Typhlosion. Okay. That means... Well, that does give me Sneasler, but I know that I can't status the Pelipper, unfortunately. Much as I'd love to. So, wait, is Typhlosion faster than Dragapult? It is. I can Fire Pledge into Sneasler and just lock into Outrage. And get my Sneasler in later. It's at 1 HP, so the Fire Pledge will KO. If they switch, then I guess they kind of got me. But yeah, I'll just lock into Outrage here. It's Terra Fairy Pelipper! Oh no! Okay, well I think they unlock me at least by protecting there. Yeah. I still get a chance to... Well, no, they'll KO Typhlosion here, but... I'll just protect Dragapult this turn. Probably Phantom Force next turn, but I think they've boobed me. Actually, I can Dragon Darts next turn, because I can Dire Claw Pelipper. Actually, they can KO Sneasler before it does anything, because they have Tailwind up. But let's see. No Dire Claw, Rainbow strats this game, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this is my win con. If both my Pokemon somehow get through the turn. Okay. It doesn't quite KO Pelipper. I'm going to lose Dragapult, so... it's Sneasler against the world, and I think they've gotten me here. And I definitely didn't get to do the funny thing. Okay, Mouse Hold. I guess I just close combat that. I might as well use the Terra Dark here. Maybe it'll help Sneasler take an attack. I'll just try to KO Mouse Hold. But no. They're faster under Tailwind. Right. They still have the Tailwind up. Should have protected, but I think that was a losing battle anyway. Okay. An Espathra. Whoa. And a Murkrow. This is, there was that team at Baltimore that used Espathra, but it was all special attackers. So, of course, Lumina Crash benefited the teammates. This one only really has a couple of special attackers, and, like, Melodic is not that strong. Gravity Hypnosis? I don't know if any of these Pokemon get Gravity. It would have to be Murkrow, I think. I don't know whether it does. We'll just try our thing. And yeah, I'll bring Dragapult, I think. Although that kind of just loses to Hydreigon and Tailwind. So maybe I actually bring my Hydreigon to this one. Let's try it. See, Hydreigon and Incineroar. I forgot to put up a Covert Cloak on Primarina. So once again, I have to just hope that they don't... Actually, no. I can Terra Fairy Typhlosion here and probably get through the turn. I'll just chip Hydreigon and protect Primarina. But yeah, I'm going to put that Covert Cloak on Primarina right now. It does mean the Pledge combo will do less damage, I think. Not that I know how pledges work, but... Oh, they didn't Fake Out. I keep adjusting to a Fake Out that isn't there. They do show Terra Electric on their Hydreigon, though, so... If Typhlosion can get this Fire Pledge off without its Scarf... The Hydreigon is now vulnerable. They switch Murkrow in. Murkrow takes the Pledge combo. And it one-shots. That's very good. Unfortunately, making it harder for them to KO my Pokemon is not as good because I would like them to at this point, but let's just go for the Pledge combo again into Incineroar. If I sweep their team with Pledges, not that I will, but if I do, that's pretty funny too. Espathra's setting up, but if I get a chance to Dire Claw that with Sneasler's Focus Sash intact, that's not necessarily the worst thing. I'll try the Pledge combo into Hydreigon here. I would like them to KO one of my Pokemon. I don't want to switch Sneasler in on this boosted Espathra. But hey, if the Pledge Setters are just taking matters into their own hands here, so be it. Yeah, okay, Hydreigon gets a Snarl off, but it's still going to drop to this, I think. Yep. And now it's just Espathra. We can forget about Dire Claw plans, I think. If my Pokemon's still getting an attack off here, they can break a possible Focus Sash. Okay, they KO Primarina. Still break a possible Focus Sash. They've used their Terra. I guess I might as well just Throat Chop this thing, huh? Alright. It protects. Now I reveal that I have the Throat Chop, but they've already used their Terra, so they can't get out of the Dark Weakness. And Sneasler's Focus Sash is intact. The Dire Claw game plan is completely forgotten here because my Rainbow Setters just swept the rest of their team. But hey, that works too. And Sneasler KOs Espathra. Still a win for Sneasler for sure. A Blissey! Wow! When's the last time I saw Blissey on the ladder? Or an Alolan Persian? Alright. Well, that Blissey doesn't want to take a Dire Claw. Feel very lucky that I haven't run into a ton of opposing speed control on the ladder today. Because I thought that was just going to mess me up every game, or at least there was a chance that it would. I kind of like Hydreigon in this one as well, actually. Although, if only for the Alolan nah, it's fine. I'll bring Dragapult. I do now have the Covert Cloak on Primarina, though I think that means we'll do less with the Pledge combo, but that's fine. We'll break Persian Sash here, or at least that's the goal. Should be able to do it. Unless the Persian throws off a Sucker Punch out of nowhere. Okay, they switch Corviknight out. They fake out Primarina, so the Covert Cloak immediately coming in handy as soon as I remembered to use it. Rainbow up, not much damage on my Pokemon. Let's go Pledge combo into Volcarona. Maybe the Rainbow Setters just kind of run through the opposing team again this game. We'll see. They switch Blissey in, so probably won't sweep through that, but Volcarona drops to the Pledge combo, as this suddenly turns into the Fire-Water Pledge combo video. We'll... let's just Fire Pledge Persian and switch Sneasler in. Actually. This is my window to get Sneasler in, as Persian drops to the Fire Pledge, and we'll see what their last Pokemon is. Corviknight, right, we knew that already. Fire Pledge that, and Dire Claw Blissey. They forfeit, so we don't get to see how that turn plays out, but... hard for Sneasler to put in work when Typhlosion and Primarina are just putting in so much work themselves. If anything's a flaw of the premise, it might be that. Oh, a Stonjourner! This is a great day of laddering, and a Porygon Zed. You love to see it. Talonflame I love less, but so be it. I knew the weaknesses of this team when I started laddering with it. We'll just... I will bring Hydreigon, though, as insurance against their Hydreigon, and to a lesser extent their Goldango with the Assault Vest, and their Porygon Zed. Although, I don't know that AV Hydreigon is holding up to all that, necessarily. just wait to see what the opponent comes up with here. Okay. Talonflame, Stonjourner. Okay. Covert Cloak, Talonflame, Sash, Stonjourner. Usually I go for the Sash holder here, but I actually think I would like to KO Talonflame. So let's just go for that. They wide guard, but that just means they don't know what's coming. Water Pledge will one-shot Talonflame, no problem. Unfortunately, their Tailwind will last exactly as long as my Rainbow. So if I stall one out, I stall the other out. But Sneasler is naturally faster than their whole team anyway, so... Well, but then I don't have the Rainbow. That's the whole problem that I just identified. Whoops. Okay, here I think I would like to Fire Pledge Gholdengo, but actually land the Fire attack. And I'll just click Hyper Voice and hope they don't wide guard again. Get me some good momentum if they don't. Maybe they protect Gholdengo and I miss a chance to get Sneasler in, but... This is what it is. They do protect Gholdengo, but they're not going to wide guard, yeah. So we will get the Hyper Voice damage into Stonjourner. Knocking it down to its Sash. And here I can Fire Pledge and Hyper Voice again. If they KO one of my Pokemon, then that's my window to get Sneasler in. Looks like they might just KO both of my Pokemon here. Yeah. Alright. Okay. It's Sneasler, Hydreigon. Protect Sneasler this turn. Goodbye Dire Claw strat. And just Dark Pulse into Gholdengo, I guess, as they switch to Clefable. So I could have Dire Clawed that. I had a free Dire Claw into Clefable. Oh well. You know what? I can still do it now. Without the Rainbow, but is what it is. We'll finish Stonjourner off. Okay, doesn't quite KO. The Stonjourner KOs Hydreigon. That's unfortunate. Didn't get the status into Clefable either. So we lose this one, but give it a good effort. I'll target the Clefable again, let the Stonjourner finish me off, because that thing put in work, and you love to see that. And you know how it is here. Play until one more loss. Okay. Huh. Look at that Armarouche. Feels like they probably have a way to activate weak armor weakness policy. Maybe Incineroar's U-turn, but in any case, you know how we do this. Actually, we'll bring Hydreigon to cover for Armarouche setup. I didn't really take my time to think about that. Maybe it's wrong, but maybe the Sneasler has some way to set up the Armarouche. Okay, it doesn't have a weakness policy. I'll just go for the Pledge combo into Armarouche. Be nice if I don't have to think about that Pokemon anymore. Terragrass, so I will have to think about it anymore. But once again, the Covert Cloak coming through for Primarina. Pledge combo still does decent damage. I KO Primarina, that gives me Sneasler. I might as well go for a Fire Pledge into their Sneasler. Decent damage. Ah, they put mine to sleep with Dire Claw. No! Oh no, my Sneasler. Okay, well at least I'm threatening a KO into their Sneasler now. And I can go for the Dark Pulse into Armarouche. Probably has Flash Fire after all, which is why I'm not targeting it with fire attacks. But good job shutting down my Sneasler this game. Typhlosion is now locked into Fire Pledge for the rest of the game, which is unhelpful into these Pokemon. I guess I'll do Fire Pledge into Incineroar and... Terra Ghost is not very appealing here. I'll just go for a Draco Meteor into their Dragapult and hope it works out. Okay, guess I did need the Terra Ghost. I just didn't see the win in the late game against their Incineroar, but that means playing until one more loss. Will be playing until now, because I don't have a way through this now. But you know what? It's appropriate. It's actually a very good one to end the video on, because in the end, my Sneasler got Sneasled. put to sleep by the opponent's Dire Claw before it could go nuts with the Dire Claw of its own. And so, do I think Sneasler is broken and unhealthy? I mean, I'm not playing at the very top levels, but that hasn't borne out in what I've seen so far. And I think Audi is probably right that Sneasler benefited from meta trends and that things will change for it sooner or later. We'll see what happens in Louisville this weekend, but this silly gimmick with Sneasler that I'd had in my mind for a while was a lot of fun to try out, and I'm glad that I could give Sneasler this moment while it's more broadly having a moment. And like I said, it's very appropriate that in the end what stopped my Sneasler was another Sneasler. You can't write this stuff. See you next time. Covert Cloak, third most used item, 16.773%. Huh, it's possible.